Yo, what's up, guys? So today I wanted to talk about why it's so important to be able to wake up before all the noise. So it's actually so important to do that because when you actually realize that you can wake up before, oops, something just fell there. Save that. When you wake up before the noise, guys, you're able to take that little 3 to 4 hours or even 2 to 3 hour gap to accomplish the most important task of the day, which is whatever you feel that's going to drive the needle, whatever you think is going to increase the sales in your business, whatever you think is going to increase your skill set in learning about finances, learning about the stock market, learning about trading, learning about sales, learning about the skill that you want to do. Maybe, let's say, for example, it's learning how to be a better soccer player, basketball player, musician, whatever it is. That time in the morning is the most efficient time because you're not going to have any texts coming through. You're not going to have any phone calls coming through. You're not going to have any notifications from Twitter and Instagram and all these different apps flooding into your phone. You can be able to just sit down and focus for 2 3 hours, 4 hours, and power through. Your brain is fresh. That is the best time to do in the morning. Wake up and early before the whole entire world wakes up and get those things knocked out. And then what you can also do is you can do a little bit of activity, move your body for a little bit, 5 to 10 minutes, whatever it is. And then after that, you top it off with a good meal. You get something that's high in protein to, allow your brain to feed off some energy and, a little bit of carbohydrates, whatever. And then, you're good for a small period in the morning and then you can eat again. But it's so important to make the best use of the mornings. It's like it's no coincidence that you hear some people who went from broke to rich or from poverty to comfortable make the most use of their mornings. You have guys like Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, so many different people who made the most use of their mornings because they realized that the morning is the best time. Even in business, when you're going for the mornings is where every one of your competitors, they're still sleeping. Some of the competitors, they're not even up yet. So you see some businesses like McDonald's, they're 24/7. They're up at 5 a.m., they're up at 4 a.m. And you have another business who's trying to compete with McDonald's, who's opening their doors at 10 a.m. But McDonald's was already open at 4 a.m. So that's a good 6 hour difference. That's 6 hours of income coming into McDonald's when that other business is just opening at 10 a.m. and they're just now starting to compete with McDonald's. They can't compete because over the year, that's 6 hours times 365 days. That's going into almost what is that? Like 5,000, 6,000 hours. That's even more than that other business that's trying to compete with McDonald's. And those 5,000, 6,000 hours, the amount of money that's flowing into McDonald's? Well, it's countless. So if you can increase your hours in the morning, wake up early, and hey, even go to bed earlier. Go to bed early too as well so you can wake up in the morning because you get more REM sleep at night, from the hours. Studies have shown you get more REM sleep from the hours of 9 p.m. to all the way to 5 a.m. instead of, going to sleep at 3 a.m. And then waking up at 12 p.m. So if you can go to sleep earlier and then wake up even earlier, well, now you can actually accomplish more because you don't have everyone, just crowding your phone and, asking you questions and doing all this stuff. And on top of that, you're beating your competitors. So now you can send out emails even faster than your competitor, and it'll reach into your clients' inboxes earlier than your competitors because your clients, they want to check, hey, what I fell asleep last night, what emails did I miss? And then they're going to check their emails, and then they're going to see you sent an email at 4 or 5 a.m. and they're going to want to click that first, but instead of clicking on the email that was sent at 1 p.m. they're going to want to check the email that was sent at 5 a.m. So it's very important to wake up before your competitors and to try your best to do that, guys. So if you like this video, subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.